Well, we've had some pretty interesting weather throughout yesterday and overnight. We are expecting the freezing to continue this morning. I'm going to go ahead and toss it over to Carson Vickroy for a look at the forecast.
Yes, Corinne. So a lot of elements here. This is not necessarily the worst winter storm we've ever seen. It really isn't, but we do have some icy spots that have occurred on area roadways, not necessarily where you live, but where some people live in our northwestern and western counties. And over the last couple of hours, the precipitation has really begun to increase, and you can see the problem spots you're going to see are from Henderson, northern Anderson, southwestern Smith, western and northwestern Smith, into Van Zant, Rains, and Hopkins counties. So here is the map of our warnings that are in effect. You can see a winter storm warning that does include Van Zant, Rains, Hopkins, and Franklin County, and pretty much anywhere to the west of Highway 271. That's where your winter weather advisory is. If you're not sure where Highway 271 is, Upshur, Smith, Cherokee County pointing off to the west. We are dealing with the potential at some icy spots there, and also Cass, Morris, and Titus County. You can see along Interstate 30 there. Any of those bridges and overpasses, it's fair game for those bridges and overpasses to become icy. Now, zooming back into the activity we have, now this is just kind of a broad look at our national radar product, and there's really not a lot happening as far as the intensity of this shower activity, but this is enough that locations below freezing, particularly locations with road temperatures below freezing, we will see hazardous travel. And that is certainly ongoing in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, where we are in the lower 20s and seeing that freezing drizzle and freezing rain. Now back to Henderson County here. You can see in Athens, I just looked at Drive, Texas, and we are seeing some issues on the roadway along Loop 7 as you get into Athens, particularly on the southwest side of town. Now, as you take Highway 175 inbound to Gun Barrel City, you do start to see those icy patches pop up when you get to the community of Eustis and you take that exit onto Main Street that takes you into Gun Barrel City on the northeast side of the Cedar Creek Reservoir. Now, a little further off to the north, we're not seeing that much in Cass and Morris County yet, but we will be watching for the potential of those icy patches to form, particularly Highway 259 as you cross the Lake Lone Star and Lake of the Pines area. There's a bridge there that could become icy if we were to see the precipitation ongoing there. But in the meantime, we are going to see some problematic road conditions because places like Athens, Mineola, Sulphur Springs, Tyler, Jacksonville, Palestine, if you're not at that freezing mark, you're a little below, and driving conditions go downhill as you move along I-20 inbound to Terrell and the DFW airport region in the Dallas-Fort Worth area as well. But one important thing to note is our road temperatures. What are we looking like, Andrew, as far as those road temperatures go? Are we seeing that icing because we're cold enough to see ice? What's going on there?
All right, Carson, so road temperatures have dropped below freezing in some places, including the city of Sulphur Springs. So watch out for icing on those roads, but especially in the surrounding area as well. Those less traveled roads are going to be colder than the numbers that you're seeing on the screen. So in parts of Henderson and Anderson County, northern Anderson County into Van Zant, Rains, and Hopkins counties, some local spots road temperatures could be even colder than 31 and 33 like you see on the board. As you head into Deep East Texas, those road temperatures are well above the freezing level. So in Deep East Texas, not looking at a concern of icing there. By 7 o'clock in the morning, we could see those road temperatures in Sulphur Springs dropping into the upper 20s, down into the lower 30s over in Mineola and Athens, and then still in Deep East Texas and also closer to Longview and Marshall, road temperatures are likely to stay above freezing. Again, you can see by noon, the roads around Tyler, in the city at least, are around 41 degrees. So that's going to be above freezing in the city of Tyler. It's really out in the county, especially northwest of the city, is where we could see those icing concerns on the roadways due to those even colder temperatures. Even by noon, we're seeing those road temperatures into the 20s in Sulphur Springs, and that'll be the case by 5 o'clock. So road temperatures is something we'll be watching closely over the next several hours. Carson?
And here's just an overview of your road conditions. And if there's not a lot of ice out there, but if there are any icy patches, they are very patchy, meaning they're confined to those bridges and overpasses. And as Andrew mentioned, any of those less traveled roads, particularly those back roads, we're probably going to see a little bit of ice there because they're less traveled, and you're probably not seeing any treatment on those roads as well. But this product just showing some wet roadways right now with the occasional ice patch on your bridges and overpasses. We'll